I've been using the Iron Bull 6-inch reinforced lifting belt over the past few weeks. My favorite things about it are the nylon build, since it's going to allow you to stay pretty mobile for explosive movements, but since the back is reinforced, it's going to create optimal support for your lower back. And then also, this Velcro strap paired with the self-locking roller buckle right here is going to prevent the belt from becoming loose mid-workout. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it. What's up everybody, it's Jake back in the Barbend Garage Gym, and for today's video, I've got the Iron Bull 6-inch reinforced lifting belt in for review. Now, I'm gonna talk my head off into this camera today, but specifically, we're gonna be talking about some money, some pros and cons, and then of course, who should or maybe should not purchase this lifting belt. But per usual, before I do all of that, I gotta let y'all know that we've reviewed a whole lot of other lifting belts on barbend.com, and we went ahead and made a best list of all of our top picks. So if you want to check that out, all you gotta do is search Barbend, best lifting belts. It's gonna pull right up for you. You can find out for yourself which ones we like the best. Okay, so before I start talking about, what I like about this belt, let's talk about lifting belts in general. All right, so lifting belts are gonna help you create intra-abdominal pressure by allowing you to have an external source to brace against. And this is really gonna come in handy as you start lifting heavy weight and could potentially help you lift heavier weight, then also reduce your chances of injury. Now, there's a lot of different styles of belts, okay? So obviously this is a nylon belt, and so there's plenty of leather belts and a lot of thickness going on as well. So it kind of gets confusing when, for some people when it comes to finding the right belt for them. Really, it boils down to your style of training, okay? So typically, a nylon belt such as this one is gonna be more ideal for, explosive lifts, CrossFit and Olympic weightlifting, where you're doing, hang cleans, power cleans, clean and jerk, snatch, all those kind of movements, because they're gonna allow you to stay more mobile. And they're typically, not as thick as a leather belt. So with leather belts, it's gonna be mainly focused around, powerlifting, squatting and deadlifting specifically. And so with a leather belt, you can either have 7 millimeters thick, 10 millimeters thick, or 13 millimeters thick. So the thicker the belt is, the more support that you're gonna be able to have. And leather belts tend to provide more support than nylon belts in general, just because they're more rigid, okay? So with this one right here, remember you do have that reinforced backing. So this is a quarter of an inch thick. So it's a little over 6 millimeters. So you can definitely still use this belt for your powerlifting movements, but because it is nylon, it's gonna allow you to, like I said earlier, stay pretty mobile and be pretty explosive for those Olympic weightlifting movements and CrossFit as well. So if you're, looking to kind of get a belt that's kind of best of both worlds, something like this is actually really solid, especially, once again, because you do have this reinforced backing right here. So bottom line, definitely just prioritize your style of training when it comes to looking for a belt that's, gonna coincide with your training, right? Okay, so with this belt specifically, I really enjoy this reinforced backing right here. It does allow it to, stay pretty stiff in the back, and that's a really good thing, especially deadlifting and squatting where, you are putting a lot of stress on your back. This is gonna be really nice and, help you prevent getting hurt, okay? So also really do enjoy belts like this that have this Velcro strap and the self-locking roller right here. It's gonna allow you to get a really tight fit, around your belly button right here, which is where you want that belt to be. It's gonna allow it to stay really nice and tight and snug and prevent it from, popping loose on you mid-workout. You definitely do not want that. This belt is also available in 5 different sizes, from extra small to double XL. So pretty much every lifter, can find a belt that's gonna suit them. And then also it's available in 6 different colors, which is pretty cool too. So you can kind of get swaggy with it a little bit, I guess you could say. And then also really enjoy the tapered design right here. All right, so in the back, you have a 6-inch wide profile. It's gonna create optimal surface area on your back. On the sides, it's 3 inches, that profile. That's gonna allow you to stay mobile in your hips, as I was talking about earlier. And then in the front, it has a 4-inch wide profile. And that's gonna really give your abs, give your core right here in the front a nice surface area for you to brace against. Now, when it comes to the cons, honestly, I don't think there's any, thing really negative with this specific belt. it just, boils down to personal preference like I was talking about earlier. So you can definitely still use this belt for your powerlifting movements. I personally do. But, if you are, a dedicated powerlifter, you're probably just gonna be better off going after a thicker, fully leather belt, since it's gonna create, a more rigid feel and provide even more, external stimulus for you to brace against. Okay, so the 6-inch reinforced lifting belt from Iron Bull is gonna run you right around $35. And honestly, that's a pretty average price tag when you go and compare against the rest of the market. Now, yes, there are gonna be a few that are a little bit cheaper. They might be cheaper for a reason. That's, when it comes to quality. And quality really isn't something that I think you have to worry about with this specific belt. I mean, the Velcro is really nice. This self-locking rolling buckle is really nice. And honestly, just the overall nylon build in general. Like I said, I've been using this for a while. It's really holding up, that original shaping. And I can't really notice any wear and tear whatsoever. So yeah, 35 bucks. It's a pretty solid deal. I think it's gonna last you a pretty long time. Okay, so remember with this belt, you do have this reinforced backing right here. And it is nylon, so it is gonna bend and contour to your body, but with this extra thickness and everything back here, it's gonna create more stiffness on your lower back, which is definitely a good thing, especially as you start going up in weight. As you see, you do have this tapered design. I really like that. I really like how it gets thinner right here, because it's gonna allow me to stay mobile in my hips. The front is great for your abs and pressing up against it, and stabilizing your core. And then once again, that back, it's 6 inches, so it's just gonna give you a lot of support on your lower back. This is available in 6 different colors, whether you want black like we have, red, blue, green, gray, or a gray camo, there's definitely an option for you. And when it comes to sizing, so there's 5 different sizes from extra small to double XL. Whenever you go to do, sizing for yourself, you wanna measure around your belly button, and definitely get, a fabric measuring tape like you would like a tailor, for example, because it's really gonna, fit around your body and give you that accurate reading. So Iron Bull has a full sizing chart. Definitely check that out and find the one that fits you best, okay? But I mentioned you measure around your belly button because that is where the belt goes, okay? So it's where you want it to go. Put it right around your belly button. And also, I really like this Velcro strap, especially paired with this self-locking, rolling buckle right there. It's gonna allow you to really pull it tight. And then once you get it here, split those apart, run it back through. Sometimes it takes a second to kind of get used to it, but you're able to really pull it tight and get that snug fit that you want. Now, don't do it too tight. You want to be able to take your thumb and kind of fit it in right there, because you want to have some extra room for when you breathe and brace, right? So when you're using a belt, you don't want to breathe vertically, if that makes sense. You want to breathe out. So you want to expand in your stomach. So you want to, and you can kind of see where my stomach, here I'll turn this way. You can kind of see where my stomach is sticking out right there, and that's gonna allow you to really brace and push against the belt and create as much stability as possible. So definitely remember that. So I think this is a really solid all-around belt for people who like to mix in their workouts, with Olympic lifting and powerlifting. When I talk about powerlifting, that's because you do have this reinforced backing right here, and it makes it pretty stiff back there, which is gonna be a really good thing, as you're going to lift some heavy weight. But since it is tapered on the sides right here, it's nylon, it's gonna allow you to stay pretty mobile and stay pretty explosive during those Olympic weightlifting and CrossFit style lifts, which require you to be explosive. So, if you're looking for best of both worlds, for 35 bucks, this is a really solid option. And there's only 2 reasons to not purchase this belt, in my opinion. The first one being it's not IPF approved. So if you are looking for an IPF approved belt, Iron Bull has a lot of other ones you might want to go check out. And kind of sticking with that, kind of just boils down to personal preference and your style of lifting, right? So if you're a dedicated power lifter, well, you're probably just going to want to go get, a thicker, fully leather belt. And then if you're a dedicated, Olympic weightlifter and CrossFitter, then you might not be too crazy about this reinforced backing and just want to go after, a fully, nylon belt that doesn't have that. So, whatever the case is, Iron Bull probably has an option that you might want to check out. All right, that's all I got for y'all today on the Iron Bull 6-inch reinforced lifting belt. This is a really solid all-around belt. All right, so this reinforced backing works great for powerlifting, while the nylon build is great for any explosive lift you may be doing. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hope this video was really helpful and I was able to break down everything you need to know about this belt. As always, stay posted for my next video, but for now, head over to barbend.com because we have a full written article about this belt that you might find to be pretty helpful. All you gotta do is search Barbend Iron Bull 6-inch reinforced lifting belt review. It's gonna pull right up for you. You can go over every single thing I talked about here today. I'll catch y'all next time.